Hey everyone, Jolt here. Today I'd like to tell you a story about my vision for visual thinking and help you understand where I'm going with all of this, why I'm working on Obsidian Excalidraw, on Obsidian ExcaliBrain, why I'm doing this YouTube channel, as well as why I have the visual thinking workshop. So join me on the ride and enjoy the story. Sometimes I feel like a one-man band. I'm building the ExcaliDraw plugin, I'm building ExcaliBrain, I'm doing YouTube videos, I'm doing the visual thinking workshop, and you may ask the question, why? Why are you doing all of this, Jolt? So I have a vision about visual thinking, and I call this vision the mindset. And to understand the mindset, you first need to understand two-dimensional personal knowledge management, which is simply taking notes in notebooks that are disconnected. This is how I was taking notes at university, and on one axis you have linear text. You read it from top left to bottom right, at least in our language, and you store these in separate disconnected documents. Now the step forward to 3D personal knowledge management is a huge step forward. Here, besides text and documents, you introduce links, and this is a big thing. Links and tags help you connect information. You create index pages, maybe maps of content. You can add ontology to build context. You can even add dynamic pages with queries, and this is already a huge step forward compared to two-dimensional personal knowledge management. But my vision, the mindset, is about four-dimensional personal knowledge management. And that is because our minds are not linear. Our minds think in images. We capture information in one sitting, in one view, and our minds process pages like this much better than dense pages of text that you need to read from top left to bottom right. And over the years, and this is now over 25 years that I've been looking for tools, I looked for many tools. I tried many different tools to help me build this four-dimensional knowledge management tool. And frankly, I was not able to find any tools that really met my vision. And that is why I started to build Obsidian Excalidraw and ExcaliBrain, because Obsidian as an operating system for personal knowledge management is a perfect environment to build these tools and to develop four-dimensional personal knowledge management. But it is actually not only about personal knowledge management, or it is about PKM, but you need to remember that business is about problem solving. And I believe that, for example, if you're struggling to connect the dots and you're struggling to make winning decisions, then drawing simple diagrams, seeing your thoughts and connections can help you make better decisions. If you're bored of working only with text and you have difficulty to concentrate, then embracing the playfulness of drawing helps you stay engaged with your ideas and boost your creativity. If you're struggling with finding signal in a noisy world, if you're having trouble conveying your ideas to others, then visual problem solving can help you quickly analyze problems, confidently addressing them, intuitively understanding them, and effectively conveying your discoveries to others. And finally, if your mind is always rushing to the next interesting idea, to the next shiny thing, then I believe that visual summaries like article on a page, book on a page, presentation, storyboards, thinking maps help you take a pause and make sense of all the input by creating, not just consuming, you get into a different mindset. So the visual thinking workshop and my entire vision for visual personal knowledge management is about thinking outside the box using visuals. And this takes me to the visual thinking workshop and how it is different from other offerings on the market. For one, I don't think there's anything quite like the visual thinking workshop in terms of combining personal knowledge management and visuals and interconnectivity of your ideas and Zettelkasten and all of this. But I think the most important distinguishing factor is that the visual thinking workshop is like a home-cooked meal. It's not a restaurant. I do the visual thinking workshop and I do ExcaliDraw, ExcaliBrain and the YouTube channel because I enjoy it. I like doing it. This is not my primary income. You can have a good time at a restaurant, be it a Michelin star restaurant or a McDonald's, but I think the environment, the atmosphere, the experience of a good home-cooked dinner with friends is different. Now, over the years, I've given lots of thought to what I would want to cover in a visual personal knowledge management course. And as you can see on this mind map, I had lots and lots of ideas, which of course cannot be condensed into a single course. And if you look through my channel, it cannot be condensed into even dozens and dozens of YouTube videos. This is a lot to cover. But as I was thinking about it more, I realized that at the heart of everything is the art of close reading. It is the art of translating the author's ideas or someone else's ideas that are conveyed through words into our own ideas and experiences. It is this balancing act where visual thinking can help us. And if you look at this diagram, it is pretty amazing that we understand anything from the writer's message, because there are layers upon layers of interpretation. The writer has a purpose. She raises questions, uses information available to her at the time, makes inferences and interpretations, uses concepts that are based on assumptions and axioms, generates implications that embody a point of view, and you take all of this that's written down and translate it through the same layers into your own point of view. And I think this is the magic of reading, and this is where visual thinking can be a major contributor. So the visual thinking workshop is organized around Tiago Forte's progressive summarization, adapted for creating book-on-a-page summaries, with an objective that at the end of the process you're able to create visual permanent notes for your own personal knowledge management system. And just to show you that I know what I'm talking about, over the past year I've created many book-on-a-page summaries. So here you can see the different book-on-a-page summaries that I've authored through the various previous cohorts. I practice what I teach. I use my tools to generate these visuals, and I use these visuals regularly to remind myself of what I've learned. So how does the visual thinking workshop look like? It consists of 6 sessions, 6 weeks of 6 sessions, and 5 office hour sessions. And we go through this process of reading and processing a book. We generate a book on a page, and we store permanent notes in our own Zettelkasten system or whatever system you're using. And all of this is organized around a book. In Cohort 5, we're going to be reading Finite and Infinite Games by James P. Carse. And this is one of those books that I read over 20 years ago that has fundamentally changed my life and changed how I view work, how I work with others, and how I deliver anything really in my life. And at first glance, this book might seem like a poetic, philosophical book, but don't be fooled. It's not by accident that people like Simon Sinek base their ideas, for example, the Infinite Game, on Mr. Carse's work, or why companies like the Generative Leadership Group use James B. Carse's book as a fundamental input. This book is not only about philosophy and a view of life as play, but it's also a fundamental business book. And I wanted to reread it and create a visual summary for myself. So in closing, this is why I'm doing all of these, because I have a vision. I have a vision about four-dimensional personal knowledge management. I believe that this is the way to understand our complex environment, and I want to share this with you. And I would encourage you that if you're interested in all of this, then go ahead, check out the website for the visual thinking workshop and sign up. I'd love to work with you. I enjoy all of these workshops. I learn so much and the participants learn so much. It becomes such a fruitful laboratory of visual thinking that I can't stress enough how valuable and enjoyable they are. Thank you.